Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and I am so excited that you are here. Today we are on day 6 of 24 days of foundation. If you are new or you haven't watched some of this series that I'm doing in December, it's my take on Vlogmas essentially. I love complexion products, and I have a lot of them, and so I thought it would be fun to challenge myself to do one video every day that walks through all of my different complexion products. So I love luxury beauty. I love doing unboxings. I love doing a few fashion try-ons, things like Stitch Fix, Evereve, or Transcend boxes. So if you're new here and you like that kind of content, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. But let's go ahead and get right into the foundation that we're doing today. So the foundation that I am working with today is the Chanel Sublimage Le Tint foundation. This is in the shade 20 beige. It's a gorgeous glass bottle. You have a nice plastic lid with the gold CC on the top. And this is called the Ultimate Radiance Generating Cream Foundation. You get 1 fluid ounce, and it's a pricey little guy. It's $135 for this little jar. It's a standard size jar. You do still get 1 fluid ounce. A little bit about this product. It says it's an exquisite liquid foundation with the ultimate sensorial touch. The creamy texture offers light to medium coverage for a glowing, healthy, and luminous look. The formula harnesses the intense power of vanilla planifolia, the signature ingredient of Sublimage, along with the luster of diamond powder and the comfort of plant-based ingredients to leave the complexion looking hydrated, radiant, and revitalized. Includes a brush for seamless application. It's a brush that's like this big. With the included spatula, dab a small amount onto the cheeks, forehead, and chin, then use the brush to blend from the middle of the face outwards, touch up with fingertips. It has wonderful reviews. I'm not the first person to review this, but it is in jar packaging, which if you've been watching the series, you know that I did the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation, which I absolutely loved. And if I remember right, this kind of reminds me of that foundation, or they're very similar. There we go, get it to focus. So it is in this jar. This is the lid that goes on top of the jar. So I'm gonna use what's on the lid today. And we'll just start to apply that on the face. I'm going to use while doing today's foundation review, I have pretty much a full base of Chanel as well. So we're going to use a BK Beauty 101, what I typically use for foundation. And I'm actually going to just dip into the lid, the top of the lid up here, and kind of start to place this around the face. It's very, very cooling, similar to the Chantecaille Future Skin Foundation. And I think we're gonna start there. If I remember, it is definitely more like medium coverage. Okay, there we go, that's enough. I'm just stop myself. Place that back in on the jar, and then grab whatever's excess on my skin, on my finger. As a reminder, if you haven't watched any of this series, I'm still using the Charlotte Tilbury UV primer sunscreen. There we go. And the Charlotte Tilbury water cream as my base products. I have my mirror right here, but I think I'm just gonna use this little Chanel mirror instead. And we're gonna just start to press this into the skin. I do feel like I really wanted to use this while the Chantecaille Future Skin was still fresh in my mind, because that was a first impression for me. But I do feel like they're very, very similar products. The only thing, I can't tell if this is fragranced. No fragrance in the Sublimage either, so I think I just must have used this brush on another foundation, and that's what I'm smelling. Maybe the Dior. Getting kind of a Dior fragrance here. But I would say that they're very, very similar. I think the Sublimage might be slightly more radiant than the Future Skin. Which would make sense based on description and ingredients. But other than that, like texture-wise, very similar. They both have that cooling effect. Alrighty. So there's a look at the foundation. Push that, there we go. 20 beige is a really good match for me in the winter. I love the Aqua Lumiere foundation, and I have that both in 30 and in 20. I love it so much that I picked up 20 for the winter. That's a great everyday foundation. But this is just the Sublimage foundation. Yeah, definitely more radiant than the Chantecaille. But the Chantecaille is going to probably quickly go up to one of my favorite foundations, Holy Grail foundations. But I have not given this foundation a fair enough shot. I've had it for quite a while and I just don't use it that frequently. And I need to because it was expensive. So, we're also now going to go in with the Chanel Le Corrector de Chanel Concealer. This is in the shade B10. Get this typical little tube, a really tiny little like precise doe foot. I'm not mad at it. Go back to my compact here. This concealer, I've used a handful of times and I would say that it is definitely very, very creamy. More of a thicker consistency. The doe foot doesn't pick up a ton. Just gonna use this to kind of brighten up the center of my face and then of course under my eyes. And then we're gonna use, I have an Angie Hot and Flashy somewhere. Here it is. So I'm gonna use the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A506 brush to press in the concealer. This brush is so good for blending your concealer. It goes under the eye like a dream. I've tried to use a few others since I've purchased this one and it's just not the same. So I definitely see myself purchasing multiple of these, just like I have, I don't know, I have like three or four of the BK Beauty 101s now, just because it's my favorite foundation brush. It blends everything so seamlessly. The size works really, really well. Like I don't feel like I'm, it's not taking up too much like surface area on my face, but it's taking up enough where it blends quickly. I can kind of pounce, I can kind of swipe, but this brush is amazing. I think they call it the kitten paw, and that's exactly like what it is. This concealer to me is like a light coverage concealer, and that's okay. I don't mind that. Unless I'm like super tired. I'm using my mirror over here. Oh yeah, you can see it. And also this compact mirror. So I apologize if I'm looking over to the side. I'm gonna just take whatever's left on my brush, take that on top of the lid. Alrighty, and then for cream bronzer, today I'm going to use the Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream in 392 Soleil Tan Medium Bronze. This is the new one that they launched with the Le Beige collection earlier this year, and it's beautiful. I like that it has a different shade than what I've used previously. This is mascara. I think this is called like Saint Beauty now, this double-ended brush. I did not like the concept of that brand. It's like a direct sales brand. But they had really great double-ended brushes, like some of the best that I've ever used, which makes me wonder if they still use them, but these are such good brushes. So taking in the smaller side of this and then just pressing in the cream bronzer. I do kind of wish I would have purchased also 390, the original shade of this, which I think it's not limited edition. So I'm sure I can pick this up at Nordstrom or something. But just so I had a slightly lighter shade for the winter. However, I live in Arizona and it's pretty sunny year round, so. All right, gonna take them a little bit more on the brush. I go straight into the container. Some people might not. Take that down the nose. And then we'll clean up with my concealer brush here in just a second. Back in with the Angie Hot and Flashy, just going back down the center, cleaning up those lines just a little bit, and then going underneath and then underneath my bottom lip to give a fuller appearance. This cream bronzer though is beautiful. I would recommend to so many different people. They took the coconut oil out of it when they reformulated, which a lot of people did not like in the product. But I loved the original and I like this reformulation. The smaller travel size also makes it more manageable to get through. So I appreciate the smaller size. I don't know if everybody did when they relaunched, but I did like that personally. Okay, I didn't have a Chanel cream blush really. I had the, ooh. Okay, I had the Essential Balm Stick, or the Balm Essential Stick, the multi-purpose stick in Rosé. So I thought I'd use this. Last time I used it, I applied straight to the face and it like lifted my makeup. So I'm going to actually go in with a BK Beauty 106 brush with this Essential Stick. And then I'm just gonna go right on top of the stick. The problem I have with these sticks is that they never set. I think they're supposed to be like more of a highlighting stick, but I don't know because they came out with these colors as well. But I just find that they never ever set. So like I'll go in with a little bit of color and this would be so, so pretty for like a no makeup look. And then like a really hydrated, dewy look if you could just kind of, you know, let this live on its own, but you can't because these are so sticky. So I have to set this with a powder blush, which I do anyways, but I mean, sometimes you might not want to. So these are one of my least favorite Chanel products as I've literally loaded on my face. But I mean, you get such little color payoff. They're so sticky. If you like them, I would love to know more about how, am I doing it wrong? How do you use them in your routine? So let me know down below if that's you. All right, I'm just gonna kind of wipe this brush off a little bit because we're gonna go back to that brush, I think, here in a few. I'm also, just because I'm doing this full face of Chanel in addition to the Sublimage Le Teint foundation, I'm gonna throw on the Le Beige Fluid what is this called? The highlighting fluid. This is in Sunkiss. I'm just gonna take this. Okay, it's a little aggressive. I'm gonna go in with my finger here. So just taking it on the top of my hand, kind of warming it up or pressing it into my finger. And I'm just gonna kind of dab that on the top, so my cheekbones, and mix it kind of into that balm stick. Okay, that didn't work well. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good today. All right. There was like a piece in the pump and now it's sticking to my face. There we go. Just don't want to lift any product that's underneath. I'm just going to take this brush and swirl it into the product that was on my hand. And then we're just going to kind of pat it onto the cheeks. We're already looking really glowy and dewy, and that's okay with me, but there we go. Just for the sake of the video, throwing a little bit of that on there. Okay, and then let's go ahead and set with some powder. So I'm gonna switch up the powder after this video because I keep using this powder, but we're gonna go in with the Chanel loose powder, and I'll use that to set here really quick. And I'm going to use my Hourglass double-ended brush, and I'm going to use this side for the powder so I can get underneath my eyes. And then we'll kind of do a light dusting where needed. I do use powder. I use powder products on top of all of my creams, but I do feel like I go with a pretty light dusting on like my powder. So hopefully some of that glow is still gonna pop through from the other products. Typically in like an hour, it'll all start to kind of pop through, which is what I like. I like to be able to set it, make sure my makeup's not going anywhere, but I like some of that dew to start to show through in my products. Okay, we're winning today. Powder just shot everywhere. Some days things go well, some days things go a little awry. All right. So that is on, powder is on. This is in the shade 12, I believe. Let me double check myself. Yep, I use this shade 12 in the Chanel loose powder. Slightly pinky toned for that brightening effect, but it's just a pretty good powder for me. I don't believe they have like a true translucent shade in their powder range, but I could be wrong on that. Okay, that powder is on. Now we're gonna go ahead and go into a little bit of blush. That's the compact I've been using here. We're gonna go in with this blush that is 72 Rose Initial. Sure, that's said differently in French. I do not speak French, in case you're wondering. Back into that Mascara Beauty brush, or I think the brand name is like Saint now. S-E-I-N-T, could be wrong. I don't follow the brand, so I don't know. And then as far, oh, I don't have any powder bronzer. Okay. I'll have to grab a powder bronzer here in a little bit. So I'll let you know when I use after we're done. I'll go grab one and then. Does Chanel even make a powder bronzer? Let's see. Oh yeah, they have some from the Le Beige collection. Okay, I don't own any Chanel powder bronzers. All right, unfortunately, this is a product that is sold out, but I never get to use it. So I'm going to use from last year, the Tweed Collection eyeshadow palette. This is 04 Tweed Brunette Rose. So the more rosy one, and I'm just gonna place that on the eyes. I apologize, it's no longer available. I think I bought mine from Poshmark or Mercari. I try not to use products that you can't still purchase, but I also have products that are limited edition that I have purchased and I have to use them. And hopefully if you own them, this just inspires you to pull out products that you already own and that you should use. I think I'm not like a major YouTuber or anything, you know, content creators in general, it's like you want to use the products that people can still purchase, but I think it's important to also use products that people might already have and that they forget about, because we're in such like a buy culture, new, now, next, and consumerism at its finest. So I just went in with this like light, this shade right here. There we go. And then I'm gonna take just a little bit of that like pinky shimmer shade on my finger and just tap that on very lightly. I don't really want a ton of shimmer, just a little bit of shine. But I'm gonna tap that lightly onto the lid just to give it a little something there. Perfect, exactly what I was looking for, pretty neutral look. I do that every day. All right, perfect. And then we're gonna go in, I don't have any brow products from Chanel, but go in with the Kosas Air Brow, Lazy Girl Brow, run that through my brows. I like this product because you get tint and you get a little bit of that hold. So I can manipulate where my brows are going, but I can also fill them in slightly. I don't have super sparse brows. I have gotten not microblading, but micro shading, which kind of gives you like that powdered brow or that filled in makeup brow look. but it's been about 3 years now. I think I got it done back in 2020, late 2020. I'd like to do it again. It's just not on my priority list right now. Perfect. So brows are done. Easy peasy. You have a Chanel mascara, so we're gonna go in with Chanel La Volume de Chanel mascara and 10 Noir. That'll be this black tube mascara with the white writing. Again, this is a black mascara. I've been using brown the last several videos. This does have like a rubber tip applicator, not the like brush applicator. Well, I guess it is a brush, but, and I cannot remember if I've actually used this mascara or not. Do you guys like when people put mascara on video? Do you like to see people's mascara application? Do you prefer that they just skip to the end because it's mascara? I'm a mascara lover. I load it on. I love a nice, thick, voluminous, long-looking lash. I do use Revitalash, but this right eye, man, has been going through it. I used to use false lashes all the time. I stopped doing that. I just didn't like how it looked anymore. But yeah, I do load on the mascara. I apologize if you can hear my dogs barking. My neighbors are putting a pool in. Alrighty, so almost done with mascara here. Just throw a little on the bottom lash line. And then we'll do a little lippy. And I'll throw on some powder bronzer here in a few minutes. I'm probably gonna use either this, oh wait, do I have the Surratt sitting here? I do, I didn't put it away, yay, okay. So I have the Surratt bronzer from yesterday, so I'm gonna throw that on. I thought I put it away. I'm gonna use the Hourglass double-ended brush. Throw this around the perimeter of the face. Again, I said it in yesterday's video, but it's so creamy. I wish that you guys could feel the texture in person, but it's really, really creamy, really pretty color. This is where that like highlighter spot was. I don't know, looks a little weird. I'm gonna go back in at the end that I used the powder under my eyes, and I'm gonna just use that to use bronzer along the sides of my nose. Make that a little more defined, and then under the lip. Perfect, and then kind of buff it out a little. Perfect. Okay, this bronzer is so pretty. I definitely recommend that bronzer. Okay, mascara's on, brows are on, lip. I don't have a Chanel lip pencil, so I grabbed my Rare Beauty Kind Words Matte Lip Liner in Worthy. It's like a nudie shade. Just to line the lips. I was watching yesterday's video back, and I was like cringing that I just went in with a lipstick and not a lip liner. Only because it's not like me. I was like, what am I doing? Painful to watch. If you're interested in how the Clé de Peau cushion foundation worked yesterday, it was a nice foundation. However, it was kind of drying towards the end of the day. And so was the Surratt Soufflé eyeshadow. I'm going in with Chanel Rouge Coco Flash in 54 Boy. This shade is very taupe, very like brown. It doesn't go with this look, but I wanted to use another Chanel product. And I'm gonna top off with the Rouge Coco Gloss in shade 728, which is like a hot pink, to kind of bring some pinkiness back to the lips. This gloss is so pretty, it's so shiny. I love it. Highly recommend. Not too sticky either. Okay, and then we'll finish off with a Chanel highlighting powder in 10 Ivory Gold. I want to keep this like very light This highlighter is kind of messy. So you get the brush on the top of the highlighter. It's very powdery. I'm going in with a tiny, tiny shader brush. It's the A502 from BK Beauty. Come on. All right, there we go. Tiny, tiny. I sometimes do use the brush that's included. I'm just gonna swirl this little tiny brush into the highlighting powder, and then I'm just gonna kind of just tap. It's very, very glittery. I just wanna kind of tap into where the blush is. We're already super glowy, so I'm not gonna put a ton more on the cheeks, but I am gonna go down the bridge of my nose and then right here at the tip of my nose. Again, it's very, very glittery, like very. And then Cupid's bow. It doesn't give you like that, I mean, on camera and with my light, it looks like it gives that wet look, but like it doesn't in person. Like I see more glitter than anything. I do like it. I'm talking like I don't like it. I like it. I just feel like there's a time and a place for this highlighter, and it's not all the time. But we do have a decent amount of glow on the cheeks just from the Le Beige highlighting fluid. And then that is it for the makeup. I'm going to go do my hair and then I'll come back to wrap up the video. Alrighty friends, so I just did my hair and I've brought you up super close. So I wanted you to see the foundation. I've had this on now for probably a little piece of mascara, probably about an hour now since I applied it. Thing that's not going right for me right now is this concealer is creasing really, really bad. And the mascara is transferring really, really bad. But other than that, like the foundation itself is looking really nice. It's just kind of a distraction to see how bad the concealer is creasing. Review or the purpose of this video is not for either, but I did get ready with you all using these products and thought I would just update you on how those are wearing. Okay, so I took you back out and now just a good final look right here. I will update you guys in tomorrow's video for how the foundation wore, but it's very lightweight. I don't really feel it on my skin. And it feels very, very similar to the Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation as well. But this apparently has the, the skincare ingredients in it, but I believe Chantecaille does too. Chantecaille is $89. Chanel Sublimage foundation is $135. So it just kind of depends on, are you wanting the Chanel experience? Is the Chantecaille okay with you? Do you want the glass jar? Do you want the plastic jar? Both are in a jar, so if that's gross to you, then neither one of these are for you. But yeah, I'll let you guys know tomorrow how everything wore, but this concealer is not it for me. I can tell you right now, just from the hour that we've had it on. So thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like this video, please give me a big like down below. You can hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Make sure you check back tomorrow for day 7 of 24 Days of Foundation, and have a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye.